So welcome aboard, everybody. We actually have two more webinars to go tonight and then next Monday. Super, super excited with the very fact that we're going to be together really, really soon in Mexico. Yeah, so a lot of stuff to go through. I really did put a lot on everybody's table. For those of you who had a chance to get through episodes, let me see here, 7, 8, and 9. And of course, number 9 was a really deep one, which was figuring out your score, your B Corp score. And that's a big one for me to ask. It can be relatively quick to go through it. Like they say on the B Corp website, maybe like 30 minutes to 60 minutes, but it can be an ordeal that takes a number of weeks to really figure out where your company fits. Anyhow, I do really want to encourage everybody to take that assessment, figure that out, and that would be really helpful for us as we go forward, because the B Corp assessment tool really is an awesome foundation for running sustainable businesses. And when I say sustainable, I'm not talking about environmentally sustainable, although that is part of it. When I think about sustainable business, I think about businesses that are profitable, businesses that run smooth, businesses that have process, and businesses that will last year after year after year, building value for the people it serves, the community it serves, the customers, the staff, etc. So if anybody has any questions on that, I'm super happy to walk you through that. So every webinar we like to start with a quote, and I have to say, Will has been rocking it this last week, and he's been giving a ton of great feedback, and I've been seeing that he's been popping into the Facebook. Thank you so much, Will. So you won today. You won the quotes, plural, of the week. So I'm just going to read it. So this is what Will said. I give people the spark of inspiration that they would need to take action to create change and communal well-being. I give vibrant ecosystems voices that they would otherwise not have, and I do that through listening in order to capture and tell stories with compelling imagery that brings even more power to the voices that it backs. Will Sardinsky, Filmpreneur. Thanks so much, Will. That's awesome. So I want to encourage everybody, get in, if you haven't yet, get into the Facebook group. As you go through the modules, make sure you pop in, make comments on other people's inputs. And if you put something really compelling like Will did, you'll get on next week's webinar. So here's our agenda for tonight. And like usual, I want to go, respect everybody's time. Love to keep this within an hour. I'm speaking as quickly as I can to get through this, because I really want tonight to be open to more conversation with all of us. So I'm going to kind of blow through the slides, and then we're just going to open this bad boy up. So for our agenda, I'm going to talk to you about the new resources that I'm starting to put up onto the course. I'm going to talk about, really excited about 2 bonus courses that I've been able to put up as well. We'll just quickly go through modules 7, 8, and 9. Want to definitely meet some new filmpreneurs who are popping on today for the first time, and to just have a little bit of group conversation. And then, of course, we're going to end it with the lovely Elaine and figure out some of the last minute logistics, because guys, in a week and a half, we're going to be in Mexico. And I am completely stoked about that. I know I'll probably say that a little bit too much, but I am legit so excited about this. So new resources in the course area. You're going to scroll to the bottom, and you will see a tab that says new resources. What's going to happen in there is anytime we have discussions like we did a few weeks ago about what does a human resources contractor or employee manual look like. So I put the Hemmings House one up. We had other questions about legal templates. So for now, I threw up every single Hemmings House legal template that we spent probably close to $15,000 on back in the day, having a lawyer actually write them all out specifically for Hemmings House. And I want them there for you as filmpreneurs. You've all paid to engage in this adventure that we're on together. Those are yours to use. Now, just a word of caution. These may not be up to date, and they may not be specific to your particular business. So use them as a guide. Feel free to use them straight up if you want, or copy and paste, but it's always good to have a lawyer just to take a quick look through any of the resources that I share. But I got to tell you, we've been using these ones for years, and they're really tight for us. So, and I've got a whole bunch of other resources I'm going to be putting up onto the resources tab coming up soon. I've got Steve at Hemmings House compiling a lot of our budget templates, a lot of our partnership agreements, things like that. So if anybody has any specific templates that you're looking for, just send me an email. And as we build this course out, this beta course, we're going to tailor it for your benefit. So just remember that. And I want to say thank you again for helping me design this course to this beta experience. Number 2 on the agenda was bonus courses. So for the bonus courses, I don't know if you've noticed this yet or not, but there is one called the Boiling Point Thought Leadership Process. And there's another one called Brands as Filmmakers course. And both of these are really, really interesting. And don't worry, you don't have to get through these before we head to Mexico, but these are going to be separate products that I'm actually going to be launching to the market in the future as individual courses. But I wanted to share them with you, get your input, and hopefully they inspire you a little bit. What I find really fun about the Brands as Filmmakers one is I've been able to interview a ton of great brands who are investing heavily in documentary filmmaking. For example, Illy Coffee. Illy invested in these filmmakers to make this amazing film called A Small Section of the World and put a lot of money behind it, told a great story. So what are we seeing now? We're looking at Illy as a coffee company now becoming the investor of the movie or the movie studio itself. I also interview the folks at Wells Fargo. They did of all industries, the big evil banking industry, but Wells Fargo did a really beautiful film, and they supported. It was a married couple film team who did this beautiful film about these first generation Latino Americans who got to go to college, the first generation of their family line to ever go to college, and it's a beautiful, beautiful film, and it's called First Generation. These are the type of interviews that I'm having, and I spent a lot of time interviewing the brands, a lot of time interviewing the filmmakers, and a lot of time talking with the stakeholders, like who benefited from these films, these social impact films that brands are investing in. So really excited to launch that out for all of you to take a look at. And like I said, don't bother popping in yet. You can if you like, if you want to jump ahead. But it is there, and I'm going to continue to build Filmpreneur out like this throughout the next 12 months. So for all of you as our beta users, you have full access to this, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the future of our webinars as well in a little bit. So again, legal templates, employee manuals, budget templates, MOUs, deal memos, what else? So the what else is up to you folks. Anything that you need and that Hemmings House has, I want to give it to you. If we don't have it, I'm going to find it. So use us as a resource, please, because like I say, you represent all future students of this course, and you're helping me bring value here. So in our last 3 modules, Give It Away, Let Love Rule, and What's Your Score, there's a whole bunch of stuff to go through. Now, I'm not going to do what I have done on the previous few webinars where we actually went through each of them. But there's just a couple little points that I thought were important for us to talk about. One was 15 to 30% of time into brand building. Thought leadership is earned, and the B Corp assessment tool. John Simon, you had a really good question.
Yeah, it was, my comment was about the owner promoting themselves as the brand, and which can be very positive when you're small, but as you try and scale the business, there's obviously a challenge in that people are all expecting the owner as their point of contact, or to be working with the owner, or the inability for other employees to sort of take over that brand. So it can it can be very positive when you're small, but it can become a challenge as you grow.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great point, because when we think about Hemmings House, for example, over, I guess, Hemmings House specifically has been around for 11 years now. We've been doing it for close to 20 years, but as a company, 11 years. And my bloody last name is in the name of the company. So it is really difficult to imagine separating it. However, over the past, let's say 5 years, the guys and the girls in my team have done such a great job not needing me, which is a really, at the beginning it's a little trippy because this is your baby, your company, but really they're the ones that make the magic. I'm the guy that's out there building brand and making connections and, making friends and hopefully creating business opportunities. But it is a fine line because, I'm not always around. So you can use your personal brand to really build your company at the beginning of launching the company, but you don't want to stay there for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to jump over really quickly to invite one of our filmmakers that we haven't met yet on the webinar. So welcome, Tasha Cooney. Tasha, I'm hoping you're cool for me popping you in here.
Welcome. Hey guys, I've been a little behind the bar here, and I'll catch up before I get over there to meet you guys. I'm really excited to be part of this, and just really amazing energy, and it's just awesome. I feel like I'm home.
Oh man, this is so good. So tell everybody where you are right now and what you're doing.
Well, so I'm in Costa Rica, and I had just got done with a 10-day mastermind event. What we do is I'm a film studio manager for a big internet marketing company called Mobe, and your friend Steve, one of the guys that we'll meet out in at the summit, he is in this system Mobe with me. And anyway, I run all their film production. I run the guys out in Fiji. I run the guys here in Costa Rica and in Malaysia. We have teams all over. So that's a big job in its own. And I film, I edit, I tell people what to do. Been doing this for 2 years. And for the last 10 years, I've been working for internet marketers, motivational speakers, hypnotist gurus. I've just been all over really creating a business out of this. And I'm really excited about this because this is really more of a stable business. I've been just freelance, picking up this client, picking up that client, picking up this client. And for the last 2 years, I've really honed in on bringing my motivation out and being an inspirational speaker. And I've utilized their masterminds that we literally have events that run every day for every day of the year and all over. So I've spoken on stage about over 200 times now. So I've got,
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I've got assets out the wing, and like, what do I do with them? So when I have some time to really start on my business, it's interesting how everything comes in alignment with what's going on, because I've opened up more time for myself this year after 2 years. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start just managing, and I need to start managing on myself as well and my own business on the side. So now we're hiring more team members, and I've really taken a stand to my employer. And I said, enough is enough. I am just managing. I'm not editing. I'm doing this. You can do that. I will outsource the editing, and I'm just going to use my brain power because editing is it's a beast. So I've pretty much just been born with a camera in my hand, and it's just something I've really followed my whole entire life. I love this, and yeah.
Well, this is so good. I'm just so glad that you're joining us, Tasha, because the group of people that we have here, there's such rich experience with everybody. We're all lifelong learners here, and like I've been telling everybody, I'm not the teacher or pretending to be any sort of guru or anything here. I'm just the person that has the gift of bringing the right people together. And what you're bringing to the table is, years of experience working with these mastermind groups and internet marketing. This is stuff that I want to learn. This is stuff that we all should learn, right? So I want you to come and soak it all in, meet everybody, get connected, but share. We've got lots of beach time, lots of time over smoothies, and really excited to pick your brain on a whole bunch of different things. And also, how cool is it? And all the filmmakers on this call can, I'm sure, agree with this. You became an expert in that field because you were filming it. You're behind the camera. Yeah. And think about how many times we as filmmakers have the opportunity to learn new things, like going to university every day.
Yeah. And people pay thousands. I've been in mentorships that people are paying $100,000 for, and I'm holding the footage. So I like to say, I've helped people make millions of dollars literally as well.
And, that is awesome.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and I'm so excited to be with a group of like-minded people, and that all of us together. Sometimes it gets lonely out here, right?
Oh yeah, no kidding. And this is kind of what I was launching into a second ago, was that this isn't going to stop at Mexico. So what we're doing here between now and September we're creating this beta experience, where, everybody's going to be a little bit flexible with me as I figure out how to use the Zoom webinars and all these other things, but it's going to get better and better. More and more content's going to go into this course. Stick with us, because as we go for the next 12 months, there's going to be a fantastic amount of learning. And the announcement I wanted to make is I'm going to be creating a monthly webinar after we get back from Mexico, and I'm going to be bringing in the top experts in whatever field it is that all of the people on this group want to learn about. So I want all of us to think about this as time goes on. Think about, what is it you want to learn? Because there's a good chance I've got these people, these experts in my network. And Tasha, for you, it sounds like you're starting to go down that entrepreneurial road now. You're starting to let go and start to be empowered on your own, and that's what we're here to support you in. So welcome in.
Thank you so much, everyone. I look forward to meeting everybody and give you guys hugs too.
Oh yeah, lots of those. We will be there with big, wide open arms for sure. So I'm going to pop you over there, Tasha. And Will, I'm going to bring you in, man, because you had some really good feedback for us. So Will, are you there, bud?
I think so.
Hey, Will, good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah.
So Will, you were mentioning even just today. I'm gonna bring you over. Can I bring you over to the video?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Will, you were mentioning even today that you wanted to learn more about data and cloud, and where do we put all these terabytes of footage. Why don't you express that a little bit further, because this is exactly the type of experience or questioning that I want to have, because I will bring the right experts in on our monthly webinars for this.
Cool, yeah. I mean, as I'm starting to get more of a film portfolio put together and have photos and basically just, stacking up hard drives, just trying to figure out what the best way to store all this stuff is, hold on to footage that I want to keep adding to my reel, keep, bits and pieces of films that I might add on to or change later, hold on to stuff for clients for a certain amount of time. And I've just been talking to a few people about how they do that. And, like some people that I've talked to are very established professionals and they have hard drive sponsors or whatever. So, it doesn't really matter for them. They get sent stacks and stacks of hard drives and hold on to it all. And then also just with cloud becoming a thing, I haven't used it that much other than for a lot smaller backup, but I don't know if it's a realistic thing yet to really be using for storing, terabytes of footage.
Yeah, exactly. So what we'll do this week, Will, is I'm going to connect you with our tech guys, and it's a little embarrassing, but we do have hundreds of naked drives. It's not a good thing. We used to have the Drobo, but we blow through footage so much. So everything, all of our masters are in the cloud, but all that raw footage, we've got stacks. I'm talking like thousands of terabytes of hard drives, and it's not a good or safe thing. It's something we're working on, but it's such an expensive solution, But I'm going to connect you this week just so you can pick their brain and they can let you know what solutions they're having. But I think having a technical webinar coming up is a fantastic idea. And before I go off to the next person, Bill, anything else? Like you also had some really good ideas about using the webinar as a platform for richer conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty recently graduated from, I guess it was almost a year ago now, but from Colorado College, went to liberal arts school, and pretty much all my discussions there, or all my classes, were super discussion based. And so kind of trying to find a way to not review the modules that, we theoretically should be spending time engaging with and watching in our free time, and then to try and make these more of a discussion where people bring questions or ideas they had, or like questions that are kind of sent out before to think about, just to see how everyone else is taking in the information and what they're getting out of it, so that we can all hopefully learn from that.
So that is fantastic feedback, Will, and that is exactly what my vision is moving forward on these monthly webinars that we're going to have. And in fact, we can have far more frequency of webinars as well. But it's so true. It's peer-to-peer learning. It's essentially it's masterminding in a way where here is the dialogue that we want to have, and let's learn from that. So with that, is there anything in the last 3 modules that you wanted to send out to the whole group?
Oh, man.
I'm
Well,
putting you on the spot, brother.
yeah, I finished them all today. I was at a film festival all weekend. That was
You
pretty
were at a
fun.
festival. Nice.
Yeah. So, see, for now, no, but let me look at my notes, and I'll get back to you in a few minutes if there's
All
any.
right, brother. That sounds great, man. So I'm gonna pop you off here. Perhaps Elaine, maybe I could bring you back on, and we're gonna hop over to some logistics.
So I feel like I'm getting to know everybody through all of the emails and the back and forth conversation, and it's quite a group. Everybody, the stories that I'm hearing on phone calls and through emails, it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to finally getting FaceTime with all of you. So logistics, I'll do my laundry list here. I have almost everybody's travel stuff, so that's fabulous. And mostly that is for Playa Viva, so that they can pick you up wherever you are at whatever time of day it is on Wednesday or Tuesday. So that's really important. We don't want you to have to walk, because I think it's a long walk through the woods of Mexico. So anyway, so that's important. Get the travel logistics to me. The details email that I sent out to everybody, it's kind of nice to have that. And what I'm getting through that is stuff that we might need just in case something happens. So that's the mother side of me doing that. But then the other stuff is the discussion points. I'm getting some really great discussion pieces for our table talks, which are going to be great. So those sort of burning questions, and a little bit of our chat tonight, I got some ideas for that. So those will be used throughout the week. So it'll be fun to have that. So if you have a chance, hop onto that email and fill in that stuff for me. I'd love it. Invoicing. So I'm working with Greg's accountant on the invoicing, and so we will have invoices out to everybody in the next couple days, so we can wrap that part of it up. Right, just all the business stuff, which as filmpreneurs, it's really important. And I think as we're going through this process, we can see sort of from both sides, like, how Greg's managing this and what's going on. But as a filmpreneur, what's really important for you guys is, it's your billing and your invoicing and staying on top of stuff. And so, it's what keeps it greases the wheels. So if you're not doing that, then, you got to feed your babies or your dog or your cat or yourself or whatever. So, short films showcase. So I think it was Will sent us this whole list of films, and so I've been going through them, which is
And they're
great.
awesome. Will,
Thank you,
wicked.
Yeah,
And
really,
I saw
yeah.
Chris also sent me via text one of his, or a few of his films. And Chris, maybe you could send them directly to Elaine, if you don't mind.
Yes, everybody send your short films to me, and we're going to pick a few for our short film showcase. Yeah, we have about 30 minutes, so we're gonna sort of pick and choose some to have in there. Let's see here. Speakers. So we've got a lot of people speaking, could be on the call. So love if you need something for your speaking. Now, remember, it's in Mexico, and 100% of everything could change at any time during the day. So if you plan on coming with a fabulous PowerPoint and you're speaking in the daytime, it's probably not going to work because there are no windows where we're going to be speaking. We're on the yoga platform, so we can't bring blinds down. So it's like, blaring sunlight and PowerPoint. So we have to be really conscious of that whole aspect of it. And it's an eco resort, so we don't want to have thousands of pages of notes. But if you have a nice little handout that would help people to take something home that's tangible, that's great. So just let us know. You do need to do your own printing. So no slideshows. No, John, not in the daytime.
Well, John does have slideshows though. So
he has a slideshow.
Yes. So we're going to have to find a way to accommodate that, John, and it probably could be at night as well.
Yes. So at night, here's what happens at night. So at night it gets dark, and there's a space for us to do all of these things at night. So yes, John, we might have to rearrange the schedule a little bit, because if the slideshow is really really important to your presentation, then we might pop things around a bit in the schedule. So just, you need to let me know that. Yeah. But for the most part, if you have a, you know, a handout or some information that would help people, oh, no problem. Good. They're working together here. So this is part of the production, right? And I think I talked about this last time. So when you're doing production, it's the more work you do up front, the more fun I'm going to have when I arrive, right? Because all these details are attended to, but really this is so important to any production. So whether you're doing, you know, a documentary or a short film or commercial work, it's, you know, prepare. And so you want to do that. So whatever I need to help you with your speaker stuff. And the speaking of production, I'm gonna start an email stream this week for the people that are on the production team that are going to be, we're going to be filming and doing some fun stuff while we're there, because we're filmmakers. So of course we have to film. We have to film everything. And then I'm going to have my camera, so I'll be like recording everything. And because I love taking pictures and telling stories through my pictures. So I think that's everything, Greg.
Awesome. Elaine, I don't know what I do without you. Thank you, Elaine.
Well, thank you, Greg.
You bring so much love to this, and I really appreciate it.
I am like the little short person with love.
Listen, for all anybody can tell, you're crazy tall. You just happen to be down like this.
So on the video, I'm like 5'8", but way too big. Anyways.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring Katie. I'm gonna unmute you for a sec. Are you there, Katie? So Katie, just as a little teaser, you are one of a number of speakers that we have. Why don't you share a little bit what you're going to be talking about and why journalistic process and journalistic integrity is so critical for all of us, whether we're filmmakers, Instagrammers, travel people. Give it.
Yeah, I should probably say, Greg, I've actually gone even more basic for my talk because I realize it will be so little time. So I'm really getting down to the ridiculously simple nuts and bolts of what is a story and why does it matter. I think it's really important, like in the filmmaking that I've been involved in, I think oftentimes we get really excited about an idea or an issue or a cause or even a subject. And there's sort of a leaping into scripting and production mode. And sometimes there's really, there's some really basic questions we should be asking ourselves about what is this actually about. So I've kind of built it around, it's like the kinds of things I wish I had thought about in a couple of projects that the cart got before the horse. So that's what I've been working on. Elaine has been my proxy class. So she's given some great feedback and we've been having a lot of fun getting it ready. Okay. And I'm also very open if people, I know there's a lot of great filmmakers in the room. So I think, you know, as you say, I certainly don't feel like I'm like the guru, but I think we will all bring our own perspectives. But if there's any particular aspects of storytelling people want to explore, let me know. And we can put it on the roster or we can just make room for it over drinks and dinner.
And just really quickly, Katie, maybe a real quick bio, like where you come from.
Oh, yeah. So I am a transplant from the print journalism world. Really, as my background was as a newspaper reporter. So it was interesting. Greg and I first worked together on, when I was first in journalism school, on Planet Luxury, a really fun lifestyle show. And it was kind of shocking coming from, I tend to be a long form print journalist too. So like going from 10,000 word pieces to 1 minute scripts and super short writing. So, but I've done a lot of different kinds of storytelling, but journalism sort of where I started. And then with Greg and the crew got to switch over to do
directing, writing, yeah. I'm laughing right now because Chris Harrigan just said I was an editor on that show. So we've got two filmpreneurs, and you guys that probably don't even know each other. So yeah,
no, that's hilarious. We'll have to
many years ago too. That was Chris. You did an awesome job editing that.
05, yeah, that's
yeah.
So
that was our first TV series that we had. So Katie, thank you. I'm really glad that you're going to be sharing this really important stuff because as filmmakers, oftentimes we just focus on the visual, and it's just so important to have a kick-ass writer behind you, and really bringing the heart of the story and making sure it's tight. So really excited for you to do it. So thank you, Katie, for letting me.
Oh, I can't wait.
And
Yeah.
we'll talk to you in a little bit. I'm going to stop the video. And I do see Ali. Ali, do we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
I
Hey.
just switched from my MacBook to my iMac, so I was hoping that would work.
So for those who don't know, Ali many years ago was an intern with Having South.
Yeah,
like,
my grade 12 co-op.
How long ago was that?
8 years ago.
Goodness sake. Okay, so I didn't even know you lived in the city, so I apologize, because when I was talking to you, I was like, yeah, next time you're in Halifax or whatever, like Greg, I'm like 2 doors down from the studio.
I know, but no one really knows, because I don't really try to make it like unknown, but I like that. I think I get more opportunity when people don't know I'm right here.
So Ali, why don't you introduce yourself? Explain why you wanted to come here, but I think it's really valuable for the rest of the folks here to understand your success, because you figured out something so many other people haven't figured out.
Well, I went to St. Malachy's High School, and honestly, my love for photography, even in high school, was insane. Like, I knew I wanted to do photography and video and be creative, and St. Max really allowed me to go with that, like do independent studies, do a co-op placement at Hemmings House, like really, really pushed it. So then I went on to the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design, and I studied photography there. And then I went on to finish my degree at NASCAD University in Halifax. But while doing all of that, I really started my business in high school, just doing like family portraits and weddings and newborn, like all kinds of stuff, like wedding videos, like everything like that. So really I was going to school full time, but then I was also working on my own business, like sitting in Lightroom, like Photoshop until like the wee hours of the morning after my homework. So it was really, really crazy. So finally when I graduated, I could focus full time on my own business, and it was like, it's crazy. I just feel so much better waking up, not having like all this crap to also have to work on. So it's been pretty amazing. And I really use social media to like advertise and market every single thing. So over time, I've really developed a personal brand. So it's not only photography and video and paintings and artwork. It's like basically everything I do. So I've kind of turned my life into all kinds of different things that sell things. So yeah, I don't know if that kind of explains.
Well, yeah. So you've been able to create a good income by sharing your life on Instagram and other social media forums, right? Exactly. And I think the value, certainly for me, to learn from you and from everybody else, is as entrepreneurs, as filmpreneurs, we need to market ourselves as, and sometimes it's uncomfortable for people to do that, but in this day and age, we have to do it, right? So you want to talk just really quickly about that, because you've got your own niche about how you present yourself, but maybe share a little bit about how a filmmaker, could leverage and even get paid by brands, the way that you are. Like, maybe just a quick little background on that.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. Like, people, what I found and what I tend to gear towards is, if I'm going to book someone, I want to know who I'm booking. So if I'm following someone on social media and I see their face every day and I know what they're eating for breakfast, and you kind of feel like you know them, and then you're like, oh, I need a videographer. This guy I follow is a videographer, and I feel like I know him. I'm going to send him a message and see if he's available on this date. Like, it's like, I mean, we're 2018 now. There's professional, but there's also like millennial, kind of like easygoing, really unprofessional. So I find that kind of like candidness really helps in me booking everything I book. It feels like people feel like they know me, and I like that. Like, I'm really just talking to whoever, and people answer me sometimes, but I'm just putting myself out there, and then I get a lot of comments and emails and all that back. So I don't know. Does that make sense?
It totally does. And
like for me, I know you guys touched on personal brand, like when I started, like when I joined the call, but personal branding, like I could go off on that forever. Like, it's so important especially in 2018.
Well, I think that's like, we do want to make some stage time for you, if you're cool with that, to share some of those insights. So I'm going to throw you right on the spot. So welcome aboard, Ali. I think this is awesome. Also, we've got another social media. We got a few different social media, heroes that are coming with us as well. And I'm going to bring Corey on. Corey, I hope you're decent, buddy. Promote the panelist. So Corey, I don't know, Ali, if you know Corey Hartland.
No.
Stand-up comedian. He's probably performed a million times in the back alley. Corey?
There we go. I'm here.
Corey, meet Ali, because today Elaine and I decided that you two are going to be sharing a block talking about social media. And
yeah.
So
wait, even when I was going through your content today, I was really thinking about, we always talk about personal branding, and we know content is king, and we know you got to produce content. But the one thing I always try to teach people is to think about your customer's journey. Where does your content fit in to the journey there? Because they're on this journey with you. I mean, Greg, you're amazing at this, right? And it's okay. Are we in the awareness phase? Are we trying to use this content as a way to keep engaging our customer base, things like newsletters, things like that? But Ali, you would know too, you're just trying to create as much this vortex of fun that allows you to create content, and whether it's educational on the front end of the side, of the thought leadership end, or if it's on the side of, hey, I want to make my customers happy, I want to make sure that I'm referred, I want to make sure that they're my brand advocates for life. How does the content fit into the experience you create in the journey that customer is coming with you?
Totally. Love that.
So this is awesome. So I'm glad that the two of you guys are okay, that we're matching you together to bring a ton of value to us. So this is great. So thank you to the both of you. So I'm going to throw you off the video here. Chris, we're asking you to speak. Here we go. To speak to us a little bit about your experiences in exploring blockchain and crypto and all this, and you're going to be doing a little bit of stage time too, man. So do you want to give a little bit of a foreshadow of what you've been exploring in your own journey as a filmmaker in that field, and maybe how that can relate to us, funding our projects maybe, or even understanding what this whole thing is?
Well, the blockchain is the future of all of it, really. But as far as how much I've seen, even though I've been looking at this for about a year, you guys were just talking about social media, and there's also these blockchain social medias right now where I've been making money just for posting on that social media. And then from there, you can link it, just like Instagram or anything else. You can link it to your YouTube, to your Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, just like anything else. Now, this is brand new concepts here. Like, this is not like what we've had in the past. Blockchain is decentralized, and it's hard to really even put into words how much this is going to change just everything. The decentralization, in the sense of the funding, is just going to completely change. You may be paid directly. This is such a big conversation, Greg. But
you know what? Now that I've thrown you on the spot, you're and everybody's stoked to hear and learn about this. You've got a week and a half to kind of figure out, in a 20-minute block, how can you bring us all to speed? Because not everybody understands this stuff, but you do. Because you, as a filmmaker, have been exploring this stuff. I'm passionate about it.
I have, and I was just at a conference that's exploring like this. It was so much bigger even than I anticipated. I was working alongside a guy who volunteered at this conference that I was at, and it turns out the guy has a multi-million-dollar company he's starting up, which is a private jet company built on the blockchain. Right? And just to bring home the point, we flew in Wu-Tang Clan on this particular private jet company called Ethereum. You can look it up. And it's mind-blowing how most people are just learning about Bitcoin when this is already third generation right now with EOS and Cardano that are coming out. And without making this too complicated, this is Bitcoin is just it's the internet of money. It's not the money of the internet. It's the internet of money. That's but it's a decentralized money. Now, where the platforms come in is now we're decentralization, like Ethereum and these platforms, where you're going to be building platforms onto it. Now, to make a really short story long, you'll be a lot of things will just be paying the artist directly through smart contracts, and this will be a wonderful thing. And essentially, this technology, if just to get your head around it, really eliminates most third-party trustees in just about every matter that you can imagine. So how much is that going to change our world? You know, we can talk and talk.
I am super excited, man. And, thank you for bringing that passion, that wisdom down to Mexico with us. So I know everybody is stoked to learn about this because you're the early adopter. The rest of us, we have to jump on, especially as filmmakers in this really strange world of trying to get funded. This could very well be a really bright, shiny place for us to explore. So
Great.
Thanks for that, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to close off with my brother from another mother. Zav I'm going to bring you in, brother. And Zav is coming from his beautiful ranch up in Yosemite. Hey, Zav.
Hey.
Hey. Oh my gosh. I just love the fact that you are in that beautiful piece of paradise. Zav, to end it tonight, there's two things going through my head. One was I was thinking about teasing everybody with what you and I talked about.
Go ahead.
Or we don't have to do that. We can bring them in when
tease away, you little Canadian.
Okay. All right. There we go. So first of all, paint a picture of the new land that you just bought and that you're living at. And I don't know if there's any way you can throw that camera out the window so they can see any of this beauty that's behind you.
See if I can get out. So I'm on 55 acres we bought up in Yosemite, and my office. Kind of looking at my office window, which is like this new little organic garden we've been building, and we have this like beautiful river and comes down like 36 miles from Yosemite, and it's just a really great property. And we really bought it for a community. Like we lived in San Francisco for a long time, and we just wanted a space where B Corps and social venture folks and people who are have impact businesses have some space to create and ground themselves. So that's been the vision of this place. And Greg's been a part of this vision with me for about a year. And so what we're doing right now is we are creating a camp in July, I think July 9th through the 15th. And we're supporting people in how to build content and write content and create content from a neuroscientific background. So what does that mean? Right now, we want to consider that the mess that we're in as a plan right now is because we have a lot of really great creatives. They don't understand the impact that writing content has on the amygdala, the brain. So we're spending a couple days with some neuroscientists, a lot of journalists, a lot of content creators, a lot of film people, and having them kind of understand what does it really actually mean to write content that doesn't negatively impact the brain. And so you can write and film and shoot better and know that your audience, like when you're really committed to write something, it's not just from that knee jerk, like how to grab someone from a negative emotion, but how do you get them to higher brain function? So that's what we're doing. And, hopefully some of you will want to be involved. We have like this amazing organic chef. It's 5 days. We have like a jacuzzi. We have like this really great yoga place. It's all meals. And we'll talk more about that in Mexico. But it's our first foray to really support the community and building content that really can be measured to make a difference.
Zav, thank you so much, man. And I think it was totally worth teasing that out. And what I wanted to say as well is after this beta course is done in Mexico, like this is a content creating experience for us for Filmpreneur. We're going to do another cohort of beta, and we're going to end that second cohort at this event that Zav is hosting. So there's an opportunity for anybody on this group if you want to be involved with that, even though you're not going to be going through the course again. But if you want to join the next cohort that comes through, talk to us when we're in Mexico. So we haven't launched this at all yet. We're going to make it super affordable for all the filmpreneurs that are already bought in, really just to keep it in a way that everybody can come to. But this is the point of what we're doing. Okay. So just to be fair, so Zav, thank you. I love you, brother. I'm gonna pop you off. Just to be fair, to even tease a little bit more, John, I'm bringing him back on, man. This is all stuff that I was really planning on releasing when we're in Mexico, but we just need more time for people to start getting their heads around this. So, John, welcome back on. I'm going to make you a panelist here. Maybe you already are a panelist. Yeah. Hey, John.
Can you hear me?
There we go. I don't see you, but
okay, just a second.
Co-host. I'm going to make you a co-host. Booting Elaine off as co-host.
Booting Elaine off. Sorry, Elaine.
Sorry, Elaine. So, John, as you're, asked to start video. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can pop on here. So there we go. So I'm just so excited, everybody, because I'm just so full of gratitude too, because you are all trusting me in this vision of creating Filmpreneur. And there's a much larger reason why I'm doing this, because I really do see a network, a global network of thousands of people that believe in the stuff that we believe in, the power of story to make the world a better place. And so I again want to say thank you to you all. You're all investing a lot of money in this, taking a risk on me as a beta course. And, as a result, the people, when this actually launches, the hard launches in September, people are going to have an experience that is just so tight and so pro and so on it. And like I continue saying, you folks are on this ride for me forever. Anything on the Filmpreneur online course, you've got access forever for helping me do this. So all that said, John is going to be involved with our actual hard launch of Filmpreneur in September. So why don't you give a little bit of a teaser here too for anybody who might want to say, Greg, I might want to go to that, because when we actually launch it, we're going to launch this hard and we're going to fill this thing up. But I really want the Filmpreneur folks to be first in on the Yosemite in July and first in the September event. John, take it away.
Well, I guess it goes back to when Greg and I were brainstorming a bit about this program and what he was doing and what I'm doing about sort of creating stories and travel. And we said, wouldn't it be great to do the Filmpreneur program and create a new story at the same time for all the people that are participating? So we talked around it a bit and we decided, well, why don't we do this program in a beautiful place in the world? And we picked out a couple of islands in Greece where we'd like to sit down. It's if some of you are ABBA fans, you might remember the movie Mamma Mia, where they go and they sing ABBA songs on a couple of beautiful islands. So we're going to take a group there and spend about a week and a half, 2 weeks, sort of traveling around, taking in the beaches, the food, the culture, the environment at the same time as we run the Filmpreneur program, to allow people to, film while they're there, create the stories that they want to create, share them with the group at the same time as we go through the program about how to create their business and building the business. So really just trying to bring all the elements together around the storytelling aspect in a beautiful environment with a lot of good friends and probably a little bit of drinks and maybe the occasional ouzo at the end of it.
Ouzo, I love it. John,
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man. Thank you. It's really exciting, Cafe Travel Club, to partner with us on this. And, there's just so many opportunities. And I always see, there's one thing about doing an online course, and we're going to make that available to people just to take the online course. And there's going to be a certain price for that. But really, it's the community that makes this stuff stick. You can do an online course, but the purpose of that is just to get your mind spinning. When we get together for 3-4 days, or in the case of Greece, a week and a half, we're really going to get to know each other, support each other, keep each other accountable, and have a lifelong connection as we build our businesses. So thank you so much, John, for making the space for that, man. I think this is really exciting. So these are just a couple little teases that we have that are coming up. And this Filmpreneur thing, like I didn't think it was going to blow up this way, but it is blowing up in my brain. That's why I was in Phoenix last 3 days. I invested being away for 3 days and spending all the money to get down there to this conference, just about how to make online training courses like what we're doing here better. And this is kind of a fun little side hustle in a way, but it's totally living up to the vision of the company of really creating a happier and kinder world through media. John, thanks a lot, man. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Rick.
And we're coming up to the 2-minute mark to end it. And I want to say, Will has been really the rock star for the last week, giving really solid feedback. So thank you so much, Will. Will, your latest note to me, you said one thing I've been thinking about a lot is about getting brands to sponsor our stories and how to fund things that maybe are passion projects. So maybe less commercial, more passion. How do we connect with brands to make that happen? Now, the good news is Hemmings House has been doing this for, well, I mean, it's been 9 years now, specifically working with impact investors, brands, companies to fund our passion projects, our documentaries, the social impact documentaries. We know how to do this. The other interesting thing is on that insane overnight flight I had last night, I spent all that whole time on the airplane designing that very course that you just asked about, which is I will be uploading very soon. There's a method and a process that we have in bringing more commercial work to help support a much bigger vision of passion projects and social impact documentaries. And there's a little bit of a circle of impact that we figured out over the past 9 years, and we're going to share that. Now, with that too, next week is our last webinar, and we are going to do it in a different format, which is really, I need everybody to send me questions and any discussion points that we want to have. I'm going to open up everybody as video panelists, and we're just going to have a discussion. Part of that discussion is I'm going to want some feedback on this experience. You know, I slammed all the stuff into you over a period of 4 weeks. I suspect 4 weeks is not enough time. I suspect maybe 12 weeks would be better, but I want to hear that from you. You don't have to tell me right now, but these are the type of feedbacks I'd like to get. But outside of that, it's like now that we all get to know each other a little bit, let's have these conversations before going to Mexico saying, hey, when we get there, can we talk more about this on the beach? Can we extrapolate this? I want to be connected to this person. So think about that for next week. We're going to keep this thing really open and let it flow. And just like tonight, we'll keep it to an hour. And with that, everybody, thank you so much. There's just so much love for me, for all of you, for again, trusting me in this journey. You know, this is a really exciting milestone for me, you know, as an entrepreneur, to be able to start. Not only, you know, I've been mentoring people and giving feedback to people for, you know, a number of years, but this is kind of a scary, vulnerable thing for me to really go out and essentially create a new little business, which is what Filmpreneur is. And I just really want to thank you and honor you for coming along on this journey with me. And I promise you, my heart is in a place where I want to make sure you get so much value. Anything you need, please be in touch. And with that, I say peace out, mahalo, and we will see you next week and then shortly after that on the beaches of Mexico. Cheers, everybody.